Today we're going to talk about mixing of a two-component product. Whether it's a primer or a self-leveling, all flooring products are two components, so we have to be very careful with how we mix the two-component product. We have a mixer, generally it's an electric mixer, which has a helicoil attachment to it, and the main issue with the mixing is that we should not incorporate any air bubble into the system. Primers are a little bit easier to mix because they have low viscosity, but when we come to the self-levelings, we have to be careful because epoxy self-levelings, we add 0.1, 0.3 millimeter quartz sand into it, and the mixing is a little bit more aggressive because we have a more high viscous product. We have to put the mixer into the compound and start mixing it. It's the similar situation with polyurethane, but in polyurethane we do not add sand, and polyurethanes are more prone to have air bubble into it. So when we are mixing epoxy self-leveling or polyurethane self-leveling, we put the mixer into the two-component mixture first, and then we start the mixing. While we are mixing, we are very careful not to lift the mixer out of the liquid, because that will take air and put it into the system, which will eventually, while applying the self-leveling, will come as bubbles into the system, which is something we do not have in a self-leveling. How do we stop the mixer? While we are mixing it, we stop the mixer and then lift it out of our two-component mixture and wait for it to drip. We do not lift it up while turning the mixer. That will also cause some bubbles. Most of the flooring products are two-component. They are called A and B components. A is the main component, B is the hardener. And generally, A component is the one that has got the color in it, and B is most of the time the transparent part of the two-component system. It is very important how you mix and how much you mix the two components of a flooring product. The manufacturer will give you a ratio. The ratio is either based on weight or volume. Weight means you have to have a scale, and if you take a portion of that product, you have to weigh it and then mix it. If it's a volume, then you can take some units of A, some units of the hardener, and mix it together. If you have a weight ratio in your hand, but if you do it by volume, then your mixing will be not done properly. Which means the component A has got molecules in it, and which has to match with the B component. On the B component, there are also molecules that would like to mate with the A component. If you have the correct ratio, all molecules will combine, they will cross-link and form the polymer. If you use one or the other more than needed, then some ends will be open, they will not cure, and then your product will not be a polymer, it will not cure and become very liquid at those points. It will be always sticky, it will never cure, never dry. So we have to avoid such issue in a self-leveling or a primer or a scratch coating state.